to start with, I was like, oh no, she wants to go into a retirement home. That's not my mum. She's not old enough for a retirement home. Then I came and had a look and I was like, oh, this is not a retirement home. This is like a resort. This is a pretty cool place to live. In my mind, I had a retirement home, like what I remember of a retirement home, going to visit family members and stuff. And when she said to me, oh, I'm going to look at going into Summerset, it's a that's what she called it. It's a retirement home, and I'm like, you're not ready for that. Like, you're too young for that. You're way too vibrant for that. This is not right. And that's why I pulled the handbrake on for a while. And then when I came in, I was like, this is cool. And it wasn't until she said to me, this is somewhere that I can live a full life, but I can be unwell as well, and I'll get looked after. And that was really important to her. And I was like, well, actually, maybe you are ready to make that move, more so than my brothers and I probably didn't realise that she was at that point. She's really fastidious about her house, and like everything's got to be perfect, right? So she's spent lots of time having to maintain that, and the gardens and the outside and all of those things. And she was tired. That was kind of what life was for her, was just sort of getting up and doing her housework and keeping her house looking good and all the rest of it. And here she doesn't have any of that. And so she's just got heaps more energy for other stuff now. I don't know how, I think she moans to me about how busy I am, but I actually think she's busier than me. She just seems to be more free and easy, way more free and easy. And she's, I don't know, it's just little things that make a difference. Like when there was storms in her old house, she'd hear the wind and she was worried about things getting damaged. And here, she's in an apartment building and she doesn't hear any of that, so she doesn't worry about any of that stuff. Like all of the things, she's less vulnerable, she's got people around her. She just has to walk out her door and there's somebody right there. So yeah, I think she's just way more settled, and because of that, she's got more energy for other things. And people know people. They're just so friendly and welcoming, and not just the residents, but everyone that works here as well. And it's beautiful. It's like a resort. And it was my eldest daughter, who's actually just going nursing. She's in her first year just now. And she said to me, it's really cool that Nana's made that choice and we haven't had to make it for her. She's like, because you see I hear of so many people who have to make really hard decisions for their family members, to go into care, and they don't want to, and then they feel like they're forcing them to go in. And it was Holly that said to me, Nana's done it for us. Like, we've kind of just got an easy job now because she's decided where she wants to be and she loves it and she feels really settled and doesn't feel vulnerable anymore, and she knows that this is like her last place. I think she's a satura, this is what she does for other people. She kind of like takes care of them and makes sure they're, well set up and well looked after, and she's just kind of done it for herself. Dad, he died 15 years ago, and Mum watched us having to like suddenly unpack his life and, kind of organise all these things, and she's like, I don't want that. She wants to be in control right to the end.